Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into one of the most brilliant and, let's be honest, deceptive marketing campaigns of all time. We're talking about how one company took a pretty common stone and convinced the entire world it was the ultimate symbol of love.
So let's just start with the biggest question of all, the one the entire industry is built on. Are diamonds really that rare? The answer? A big, fat no, not even close. And for most of history, they weren't all that expensive. So how in the world did we get here? Well, it all came down to engineering a massive, powerful illusion.
To really get this, you have to understand how a single company, De Beers, basically took over the entire market and just completely rewrote the rules of supply and demand.
It all started by creating a near-total monopoly. I mean, at their peak, De Beers controlled an unbelievable 90% of the world's rough diamonds. That's not just getting a piece of the pie, that's owning the entire bakery.
And their playbook? It was a masterclass in control. First, they'd buy up and hoard diamonds from everywhere. Then, they would only release a tiny, controlled trickle onto the market each year. This created this completely artificial scarcity, which let them name their price and hammer home the myth that diamonds were incredibly hard to find.
Okay, so you've got the supply locked down tight. Now what? You have to create the demand. How do you get people to spend a fortune on something they never even knew they wanted? It's simple, really. You just give them a number.
This taps into something called the anchor effect. It's this funny little quirk in our brains. We tend to latch on to the very first piece of information we hear, and that anchor colors every single judgment we make after that. And De Beers? Oh, they played this card brilliantly.
This line from an old ad campaign, it's pure psychological genius. It's not a suggestion, it's an anchor. It just planted this specific price tag for love right into people's minds. It created a social benchmark for what you were supposed to spend to prove you were serious. And get this, they were smart enough to customize the anchor for different countries. 2-month salary in the US, 1 month in Britain. And in Japan, where diamond engagement rings weren't even a thing, they pushed for a wild 3-month salary. And you know what? It worked.
But just setting a price isn't quite enough. You need to create that deep emotional pull, that feeling of desire. So De Beers turned to the most powerful dream machine on the planet, Hollywood.
Over decades, they ran this incredible product placement campaign. They started linking diamonds with ultimate glamour and romance. They'd gift them to movie stars who'd wear them everywhere, creating this inescapable social proof. And when Marilyn Monroe sang "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend," it wasn't just a hit song. It was maybe the most effective piece of marketing ever.
The success was just staggering. In 1940, only about 10% of American engagements had a diamond ring. Fast forward to 1990, and that number skyrockets to 80%. They didn't just sell a product, they literally invented a tradition out of thin air.
But the true masterpiece, the absolute stroke of genius in this whole campaign, was that legendary slogan. It was a line so powerful, it did way more than sell diamonds. It actually protected the entire fragile illusion that De Beers had built.
A diamond is forever. I mean, you've heard it a million times. In 1999, Ad Age magazine didn't just praise it. They named it the single greatest advertising slogan of the entire 20th century. And for very good reason. It taps right into our deep-seated desire for things that last, for eternal love.
But here's the secret, hidden genius of that slogan. It had a ruthless business goal. See, by connecting a diamond to the idea of forever, it creates this huge psychological barrier to ever reselling it. I mean, if you sell the diamond, are you selling the love? This one idea completely destroyed the secondhand market. And if there's no resale market, nobody ever finds out that their precious investment actually loses a ton of value the moment they buy it. This protected the high price of new diamonds. It's brilliant.
And the results of all this marketing magic? Well, between 1939 and 1979, De Beers wholesale diamond sales in the US just went to the moon, from $23 million to over $2.1 billion. That is an unbelievable success story, built almost entirely on psychology.
So for decades, we've been living in the world that De Beers created. But today, that world is being seriously challenged. The rise of lab-grown diamonds is finally pulling back the curtain on the whole industry.
Just take a look at this comparison. Lab-grown diamonds are identical to mined ones. Same chemistry, same look. And they completely expose the core illusion. A natural diamond's value was never really about rarity. It was about a tightly controlled story. And just check out that resale value. Neither one is a great financial investment. But the lab-grown market is built on being transparent, not on selling a myth of forever.
And that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? The story of De Beers proves that the value of a diamond was never really in the stone itself, but in the incredible story we were all told. So when you look at a diamond, what do you see? A hard asset? Or the world's most successful marketing symbol? Now at least, the choice is yours.